Okay, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to deconstruct one of old-school RuneScape's most thrilling, most misunderstood, and let's be honest, most brutally effective PvP builds out there. This isn't just about throwing high stats together. This is about precision engineering. We're talking about the 70 attack, 99 strength, 70 defense, and 70 prayer Piety Dharok'er, a true masterpiece of combat optimization.
But that really begs the question, right? What actually defines a perfect PvP build? Is it just about having the biggest numbers possible? Is it raw, predictable power that your opponent can see coming a mile away? Or is it something a little more nuanced, something more precise? Is it about creating a build so specialized, so fine-tuned, that it completely rewrites the rules of a fight?
Because that is exactly what this is. This isn't your standard pure, and it's not a maxed-out main account. No, this is a mid-level powerhouse built from the ground up around one concept: volatility. It's a high-variance KO machine designed to do one thing with absolutely terrifying efficiency: to just erase opponents from the game in a single, devastating, and often completely unexpected swing.
So, to really get it, you have to understand the anatomy of this machine. Why these specific stats? Why 70, 99, 70? Well, these numbers are anything but arbitrary. They create a perfect storm of offensive power, defensive resilience, and tactical advantage that puts this build in an absolutely lethal sweet spot.
First up, 70 attack. This is the precision sweet spot, It unlocks your critical arsenal. Of course, the Dharok's Great Axe, but also the Abyssal Whip for reliable damage, the Abyssal Dagger for a nasty spec, and even the Saradomin's Sword if you want to mix it up. But the most important part, 70 attack gives you fantastic accuracy without shoving your combat level up into that max main bracket. You're basically operating in a zone where your opponents just don't expect the kind of threat you're bringing to the table.
Next, 99 strength. I mean, what else is there to say? This is the engine of the build. It's pure, it's simple, and it is non-negotiable. This is where all that raw, unadulterated power comes from. It's the foundation for those massive, fight-ending knockout hits. Every other part of this build simply exists to amplify the sheer force that 99 strength brings.
And here's the part that people always seem to underestimate: 70 defense. This is what elevates the build from a simple glass cannon into a mini-tank with a nuclear payload. 70 defense gives you the toughness to operate at dangerously low HP, which is exactly where the Dharok's set effect comes alive. It lets you take an AGS spec to the face, survive a claw rush, and avoid getting shredded while you deliberately and safely drop your health. It is the safety net that makes the whole high-risk playstyle even possible.
And this really shows you the core difference. A standard melee build? It's predictable. Consistent, sure, but predictable. The 70-70-70 Dharoker is a whole different animal. You're trading that predictability for these dramatic, heart-stopping damage spikes. You get more tankiness, and maybe most importantly, you get a massive psychological advantage. Your opponent has no idea if your next swing is going to hit for a 20 or a 90. That fear completely changes how they fight.
Okay, so let's talk about the final piece of this puzzle. If 99 strength is the engine and 70 defense is the chassis, then 70 prayer is the nitrous injection. This is the secret sauce that takes the build from being truly scary and pushes it into the realm of the utterly absurd.
So, at 70 prayer, you unlock Piety. And let's be clear, this is the most powerful standard prayer in the game for melee, period. For this build, it's way more than just a simple buff. It's a massive force multiplier that synergizes perfectly with every other stat choice we've made. It is the spiritual and mathematical core that just elevates the entire concept to a new level.
Just look at these numbers: a 23% boost to strength, 20% to attack, and 25% to defense. But here's the magic. These aren't just flat additive bonuses, they're multiplicative. They take your already massive 99 strength and your optimized 70 attack and just amplify them. When that percentage-based increase combines with the scaling of the Dharok set, you get this compounding effect that creates damage potential that is just, well, it's far beyond the sum of its parts.
And here's the result of all that. This is the payoff. With your health dangerously low, the Dharok set effect just screaming, and Piety active, your max hit can go over 90. Let that sink in for a second. A 90. In a combat bracket where your opponents are expecting hits in the 40s or maybe 50s. They see your 70 attack and they get complacent, and then a 78 hits them when they have 40 HP and they just evaporate. That is the knockout power we've been building towards.
This prayer really is the ultimate force multiplier. The discipline it takes to get to 70 prayer kind of reflects the mental toughness you need to pilot this build in the first place.
It's a huge commitment, but it pays off by turning you from dangerous to absolutely deadly at the flip of a switch.
Of course, having the stats and the gear is one thing, but piloting this build effectively, phew, that takes immense skill, tactical awareness, and just nerves of steel. This is not a build you can just coast on. It demands your full attention every single second. The entire playstyle is this thrilling, high-stakes dance on a razor's edge. It's simple, really. Your potential damage is inversely proportional to your health. At 1 HP, you're getting almost a 98% bonus to your damage. Every moment becomes a calculated gamble. Mastering this dynamic, intentionally managing your HP to stay in that lethal low-health zone without dying, that's what separates the newbies from the true experts. A great player doesn't just wing it. They have a clear strategy. This blueprint kind of shows you how prayer becomes more than a buff. It's a tactical framework. Phase 1, you're prepped, ready to go. Phase 2, the initial engagement. You're actually conserving prayer, letting your HP drop naturally. Phase 3, the power phase. Once you're below 60% HP, you flick on Piety and commit to aggressive plays. And finally, Phase 4, the critical zone below 30% HP. That's when you maintain Piety, time your protection prayers perfectly, and execute those finishing blows.
And this just captures it perfectly. The gear doesn't make the player. The stats don't win the fight on their own. The real power lies in the player's judgment when the pressure's on. It's all about reading your opponent, timing your switches, and making those critical split-second decisions that decide if you win or lose.
So what does it actually take to create one of these precision-engineered weapons? I'll tell you right now, this is not an account you can just casually build. It takes a level of planning and discipline that most players, frankly, never even consider.
Building this account is like solving a giant questing puzzle where every single experience point matters. You have to navigate the entire game, meticulously planning every quest to unlock essentials, like Barrel's Gloves or Vengeance, without gaining a single point of unwanted defense or attack XP. You need deep game knowledge, capping skills at exact break points, and once you commit, that's it. The account is locked, a permanent resident of its combat bracket.
But here's the payoff for all that discipline. You aren't winning because you just out-leveled somebody. You're winning because your build is perfectly tuned to amplify your skill. Your max hits are calculated, your defensive brackets are perfect, and you have the exact tools you need. It's the closest the game gets to a truly fair fight, where the better player, not just the higher level account, comes out on top.
And that's exactly the feeling of mastery. You're not just playing the game, you're piloting a finely tuned machine where every single component, every quest, every stat point, every piece of gear was intentionally designed for peak performance. The power you feel is power you meticulously earned through knowledge and planning.
So there you have it, the Piety Dharoker. It's not just a build, it's a philosophy. It's explosive, it's unpredictable, and in the right hands, it's one of the most lethal setups in the entire game. It offers unparalleled KO potential and the pure satisfaction of winning through superior strategy. The power is undeniable. But the real question is, are you willing to walk that razor's edge to achieve it?